Thank you. I'm Olivier de Tournay. I run Planktovie. Planktovie is a biotech company based in Marseille, in the south of France. So the center of our activity, this is the plankton for developing and commercializing nutritional solutions for the zebrafish community. You know, this little fish that is more and more used in biomedical sciences. We have approximately 200 customers today in Europe, mostly pharmaceutical companies like Roche, Servier, Sanofi, etc., and also academic laboratories. But we also use this plankton, and we focus on this to isolate molecules of interest for various fields of interest, like the pharma industry. So this company has been created by Emmanuel Sobra, a corporate lawyer, Jean-Louis Cros, a chemist, a professor at the University of Marseille, and myself as the CSO. I hold a PhD in cancer therapies. I also gained a deep background in marine biology at the University of Oregon and Hawaii, where I realized how much important are the oceans for isolating some molecules of interest for different fields. Actually, the oceans, this last 30 years, we've isolated approximately 30,000 molecules from the ocean. 10% of them are endowed with bioactivities. Unfortunately, only a very few percentage of them are scalable at an industrial scale level for the exploitation. That's why we rely for these molecules on their natural sourcing, like those molecules isolated from dinoflagellates. The dinoflagellates are microalgae isolated from corals, and the community, the scientific community, know today that these molecules are extremely interesting in terms of bioactivity for the drug discovery, but also as alternatives to synthetic pesticides, like the glyphosate, for example, and also are of interest for the food safety industry. So the only way to mass produce these dinoflagellates, this microalgae today, this is to put them in photobioreactor. The problem is that these dinoflagellates, they cannot stand, they cannot tolerate the shearing forces, the frictions, that is measured in conventional photobioreactors, like those that are equipped with pails for steering or equipped with bubbling system for steering. So the only solutions to produce them today, this is in static culture. The problem is that in static culture, they grow extremely slowly, and as a consequence, the molecules coming from them are extremely expensive. On average, 50 million euro per gram of this molecule. Million. So thanks to funding from the EU, we've developed a 200-liter photobioreactors without blades, without bubbles. Very simple, easy-to-use process of production of dinoflagellates, a very unique CO2 system, diffusion system, and a patented rotating system allowing extremely low shearing force inside. So thanks to this DynoFit photobioreactor, we were able to mass produce this dinoflagellate, reaching a duplication time of 24 hours instead of 5 days with conventional reactors, reaching 2.4 grams per liter per day of production. So giving us access to different markets, like the food safety market, they need to purchase some molecules for being able to measure these molecules in the seafood, for example, but also the drug discovery market is really interested by these molecules, for example, for developing anti-cancer or painkiller drugs. So our business model, this is to address directly our markets, supplying purified molecules or biomass or equipment. Our advantages is that natural compounds are well accepted by the public opinion compared to the synthetic chemistry. We have a very efficient way to produce dinoflagellate and an easy way also to produce them. So we are searching for funding. Right now, approximately €1 million for setting up a platform reaching 1,000 liter production capacity by 2021, multiplying this capacity in 2 years. translating this into revenues, reaching 5 million by 2024, even more with the licensing that we can offer to pharmaceutical companies, for example. Thanks for your attention, and be glad to hear for your questions.
Well, on that very note, I'm going to predict there is a question coming from. Let's give the floor for, yes, why don't you kick us off?
I'm still allowed?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, thank you.
It's the last person. All bets are off. Go for it.
Adam Matei again. If you are to describe in a few words the go-to-market strategy in order to reach the 5 million by 2024, what is going to be the key pillars of your strategy?
Yeah, the key pillar, this is addressing these three markets: the food industry market, the pharmaceutical industry, and also the biopesticides market, by providing directly purified molecules or biomass, algae, paste, for example, or little equipment like the photobioreactors. We can address directly these markets, or we can address this market through distributors like, for example, Nova Kids in the south of France or Sigma Aldrich.
Do you plan to train your customers to use the equipment, or how you are going to do it? I mean.
So yeah, that's a good question. Actually, we can provide them the equipment or the biomass or molecules, and also the training necessary for them producing these microalgae at high scale level.
Okay.
So the second way for generating revenues, this is offering licensing to pharmaceutical companies, for example, willing to develop drugs against cancer, especially, and pain, and rising incomes under the form of a milestone and upfronts.
So you basically have multi-streams of revenue addressing various key industries, let's say.
Sorry?
You have multi-streams of revenue, multiple streams of revenue addressing different industries.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.